Hello, we are live. We are live. Hello, everybody. Don't wave. Don't
No
wave.
waving. No waving. That's why we're a minute late because waving exists in the world.
Just as a quick explanation, I've got myself a new webcam and it has gesture control. So if I wave, it starts doing all sorts of weird shit. Right, so welcome to the Virtual Rek't Podcast, Season 1, Episode 21. We are chugging along. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to all my channel members who've joined me already. I am joined by the Mercurial Surgical from IndieVR. I am also joined by the bearded wonderfulness that is Mr. Power on VR.
Hey.
And I can't wave at the camera, otherwise all sorts of hell breaks loose. So I've now got to sit here like this. I'm sure you can turn it off. Right, so first question is to Mr. Indie.
Yes.
What are you drinking? And what have you been playing?
Okay. See that?
So sweet
Master. Yeah.
With a bit of that.
Bit of hooch.
A bit of Oh, we've got some absolute, have we?
Yes, yeah. I thought,
Yeah.
since it's my first one, I should really get into the spirit of things. And
Here's the thing, right? I'm not drinking tonight,
Yeah, it's
damn.
not.
so I get to be the sober one for the first time. I feel it's probably the first time I've been sober on this podcast.
well, I mean, at least as long as there's always two people doing it, I think it's fine. Should be fine, mate.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Been playing a lot
Should
of
be
different
fine.
stuff. Let's see. Okay, so the main. I played last night. It's kind of like Quake meets Metroid. It's called Realm of the Fallen. It's out in 2023. It's really good fun. That was on standalone. It's also going to have a PC version. And I also did Joust in VR, which is literally what it says, but it's actually really fun, and it's only like £6, so everyone check that out. It's a really good game, actually. Oathbreakers, which is MMORPG, which is new as well. I've been playing that quite a bit. And there's a new boxing game called Golden Gloves, which is really cool. I did play that, and I did a stream of that. That's really good fun. And just some other titles like that have already been out for a while, like Intercosmos and some other stealth games and stuff like that. Yeah, you can just check my channel. It's all on there.
Yeah, he streams. Mr. Power on VR, you've already admitted that you are not drinking because you're at work and you've just finished a 13-hour shift. So if he falls asleep during the podcast, just shout out.
I was
so
going to
you're
say
not,
shout super loud, and I'm sure
Yeah.
I'll hear it.
so you're not drinking, but what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I've much to the chagrin of Mac, I'm sure, I've been playing a lot of Bone Lab. I know, right? But bear with me, okay? Because one of the big criticisms of Bone Lab is obviously the fact that it lacks story, and it's essentially a shell that people can fill, like Gary's mod. And so I've actually been looking at a lot of the modding scene this week. I downloaded, I think, like 400 mods.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And just went to town on those bad boys. Like, so I've got avatars ranging from like Adam Smasher from Cyberpunk, or Deadpool, Goku, the Iron Giant, and Godzilla, which are like a couple of like several stories tall avatars where everything becomes ants.
Cool.
So that's quite an interesting thing, because like it sort of upsizes you to the world and actually rescales the world around you, which is really nice. But then I've been looking into the gun modding scene, like these guns that people have been creating themselves and bringing into the game, and like some of them are really simple, and like there's an STG-44, which, you know, is never my favorite weapon, but it's cool to have. But then like the animation on it's pretty janky. But then I went and looked at the FN 509 and the 57, and this guy has done amazing work. Like, as you rack a bullet from the magazine into the chamber, you can actually see it pull the bullet back, and it sort of angles, and then as you push back, you can see it racking it that's the level. Like the difference between a mediocre mod and something like really, really well done. The audio is all done perfectly, and then people have started making fully working cars for you to be in. So it's not a go-kart anymore. It's like a Dodge Charger and a full like New York Taxi and stuff like that. So yeah, just checking out what people have been creating really, and what. Oh, actually no. One of my favourites, which has got nothing to do with anything really, is someone's created a GoPro camera.
Cool.
Which literally works as a GoPro camera. So it takes over the feed, the output for your PC. So you can literally wander around and like be doing cool kick-ass selfies.
Wow,
which I thought
really
was
cool.
really interesting. Like for creators, that's really awesome because you can attach it to things, and yeah, you can get some like you can attach it to the gun, so you can do like an entire gun show essentially from the perspective of the gun, which is really cool. It gives some really so yeah. Even if you don't like Bone Lab, like there are interesting things coming out of it, and it is inspiring. And on top of that, the entire Boneworks is being remade in Bone Lab.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
No, it's Boneworksception. So yeah, that's what I have mainly been doing this week, as well as playing Moss on the stream, same as you, Mac. And I've been playing a shit ton of Contractors, because as it turns out, Contractors and talk about Pornhub is apparently just my jam on stream. People.
Yeah, they need to bring out the second season of Pornhub, because I've basically watched the whole first season, and I'm waiting for some new.
You need to watch the director's commentary. It's so much better with director's commentary.
Like Half-Life Alyx with naked women.
And in this scene, we were trying to light her ass just right.
I remember yesterday I was your stream was on in the background, and you just said, "Can everyone stop talking about Pornhub?" I remember that.
Yeah. That was during a Moss stream, by the way. That wasn't a contracted stream. That was like we're watching this cute ass little mouse do all sorts of amazing things, and then it's just like, oh yeah, this is just like Pornhub.
Yeah. Well, at least you didn't. At least you didn't say you wanted to kill Quill while the actual developer was in the live stream on Thursday.
That was me. I said, I went into it and I said, I want to kill Quill. And didn't realise the developer was in there. So, yeah, that was great.
Right, so I am drinking my favourite. Of course, there's no green screen this time, so you can actually see it. That's Silver Mackie. That's my favourite Sauvignon Blanc. And very much like Shuey, I have been playing Moss Book 2 on the PC VR. There's now a Steam version of that. Yeah, really good. What did I play? Oh, right. I've actually not played much video games since Thursday, because I've been away for the weekend with my wife. It's her birthday, so happy birthday to her. I don't know how the fuck she puts up with me.
Same way we do, Mac.
Yeah.
Lots of alcohol.
Barely.
Lots of alcohol. Right. Okay. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to my chat. We've got everybody's chat windows here. They're all quite busy. So we got Reeks of Cheese. We got Assassin. We got Mo Beast. We got Rob. How you doing, mate? Virtual Greekality, Tassos, and we also have some of my we have Sim, and we have Ludovico. Obviously, Assassin. He's one of my channel members, so that's quite nice. Channel membership's going well. You've opened up channel membership, haven't you, Chewy? So
I have. We have some channel new members. Patrice Coffee. I think I'm sure that's his name. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Fitz joined. We have Henry Van Leer. We have Mac in VR. And we have Diego Darko. They've all joined in the past couple of weeks. So thanks, guys. That's making a big splash in helping me.
Yeah, it really does help.
Because we've got AppJ as well. He was actually in the stream last night. He won one of the keys. He's here tonight. And actually, we've got several people that won keys tonight. There was a really it was a really crazy thing. Actually, we had a situation where people would start saying, "Oh, I'm pretty sure Quill just said I'm going to win a key," and I would be like, "Okay, spin the wheel, Henry," and that person would win the key. And it happened 3 times out of 10. That's pretty damn impressive.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Right, so does anybody have any things they're planning to give away tonight?
I do not. Actually, no. I may actually have a couple of spare keys for Moss Book 2 on Steam. I may actually have 2 spare ones.
Yeah.
I did, but the game's been postponed, so I'll have to wait till next month. Yeah.
So Surgical gave me a key for Oathbreakers. Well, he gave me 2 keys for Oathbreakers, so I'm going to give one of those away. If that's okay with you, mate?
Yeah, sure.
Reeks of Cheese won a key last week on the stream, but he doesn't want it. So thank you very much, Reeks. That's a Quest 2 key. And I also have a key for Stride on the Quest 2 because that was also
Stride's awesome.
Not claim. I've got this PCVR version. I haven't played it yet, but I'm planning on playing it.
We need to do some multiplayer on there, man. That's one of the things. I think Tazos, me and him have been playing a ton recently on different games, and I think that's one of the ones he said about possibly doing some multiplayer on. So that would be pretty sick.
Hey, you can't steal Tassos from me.
I've already stolen Tazos. Me and him have played an extraordinary amount of contractors in the past few weeks. You're mine now, Taz.
You're mine now, Tassos. Yeah, that's one of the things I need to do. I need to play more contractors because I really enjoyed the streams you've done. I mean, I know I'm crap at it, and I know I complain, but
I'm not good at it. It's just fun.
Fitz and Nebredo were absolute monsters. Tassos was there, top sort of 3, but Fitz and Nebredo, they were just absolute. Was it like Fitz got something like 56 kills in one game or something?
Well,
I didn't even see 56 people.
No, Fitz has kind of become mine and Taz's default bad guy. So we basically, if we are. Taz has just put "I am yours" in both our chats.
You slut.
Yeah, basically, if Fitz ended up on the other team from us, we would basically spend most of the game trying to find Fitz, and that was the entire game.
So Assassin in my chat has just said, "I want a Moss Book 2 key from me." Yes, he did. I hope you enjoyed that. He actually went back and bought Moss, so he could play that one in order. He said, watching it being streamed does not do the game justice. That is a really good point. Watching the stream does not do the game justice because in VR you can look around and what you can't see is that all the environment's absolutely beautiful. Everything is just polished and gorgeous, and Quill herself is just gorgeous.
What did you think of the PC version versus because I didn't actually catch your stream. So what did you think of the PC version versus the Quest version? Okay,
so there isn't much difference. I'd have to literally play Moss on the Quest and then play it on the PC. But it gave me the same sort of feeling that I got from Red Matter 2, where I played that on the Quest and it was Quest 2 and it was amazing. And I played it on the PC and I think I did a comparison video as well. And the PC version is a little bit sharper, but there's not an awful lot in it. There's not an awful lot in it.
I disagree. Having played it, and I actually went back and had a look at the Quest version, and honestly, I can never see me playing the Quest version of that again.
Really?
Compared to the PCVR version, there are so many small things that really make the texture quality really popped out for me when I was playing it to the point where I was like, oh, I'm just going to be replaying Moss 2 and that's fine. And then I was just like, that is actually amazing. Oh, also, I learned something on Moss Book 2 that I hadn't done in my previous playthroughs, and that is that you can high-five the frickin' toad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you keep trying to poke it in the eyes, it sort of closes its eyes and whatnot, and that's fine. But if you go near its legs, it goes like, "Oh no, don't touch me in the legs." And I did that 3 times, and then it was just like, "Ah, fine," and then holds its arm out to give you a fist bump, and I was just like, "Yes, I didn't know this."
No, I didn't know that either. I mean, it took me a while to figure out you could actually fist bump and high five Quill, because the first time it happened, I was like, "Did she just high five me?" And I was like, "Oh wow, that was absolutely amazing. I didn't realise you could high five the frog as well. Maybe you can high five all of the talkie characters then."
Possibly.
Sorry, Serge. What do you?
No, I was just going to say, I've still yet to play even book one. So, and with contractors, I've only played like maybe 3 times. I know Tass has invited me as well. So he's flirting with me. He might be in bed with you two, but he's flirting with me. And I was busy, but I will jump on with you guys. Like next week is better for me, like when I'm not got loads of stuff going on. And of course, what happened with the developer on on Mac Stream, that was
You've got
funny.
no chance of getting some free keys. But
Yeah.
I would like to say that the developers of Moss were extremely generous. I know they did the same for Power
Yeah.
On. They
did for Click as well.
Yeah, they basically, what happened is they contacted me and said it's coming out on Steam VR, but there's an embargo. Will you stream it over this weekend period? And I said, oh yeah, I'm going to stream on Thursday night. So they sent me a key for me, and then sent me 10 keys. They've sent me 5 Steam VR keys and 5 Quest 2 keys. I was like, oh, thank you. I think that went a long way to sort of help with the success of that stream. But I mean, it helps them obviously, because you get the game out there and people can see people playing it. But I just thought that was a super generous thing to do. I don't know who your contact was. Mine was Caitlin.
I had 2 actually. I had Caitlin and
Lisa.
Lisa. Yeah, they both contacted me.
I nearly ended up with 20 keys.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
I would have taken it.
Yeah. Lisa got in contact with me a bit late, and she's like, "Oh my God, I've been away. I forgot to give you your keys." I was like, "No, it's all right. Caitlin's already given me." I didn't want to take the 10 keys and then Caitlin find out and me get into trouble. So
I had actually the exact same conversation.
oh,
Like, I've got my 10 keys, but I'm sure I've got some spare keys somewhere because I gave out all 10 of my giveaway keys. But I'll find them during the stream, and we'll see if we can give away some more, because I'd like to give away as many as possible. Actually, I found 2 more keys. We have 2 more keys. Okay, cool.
I've got 2. I've actually got 3 keys, but one of them is claimed by one of my channel members, and he hasn't claimed it yet. The other one was Reeks said he didn't want it, so I've took that one back, and I've got somebody else who hasn't claimed their key yet, so I might actually have another one. So yeah, cool. We'll do that later on. Oh, we won't do it right at the end, because then that'll. Oh, Tribe Grey Wolf's here. How you doing, mate? He's on your chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a shitload of wolf heads come up in my chat. And he's here. Yeah, I've actually got. Unless you want to jump onto anything else, topic-wise, I actually tried to get. I don't know if you were approached by Xreal to do with the Steam version of Gambit.
I've just got an email off the guy, so I haven't read it yet. I might have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trash it, because I think we had a really good time playing Gambit the other week.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Yeah.
On the Quest 2, but the Steam version is busted. It is
Really?
Yeah, it's completely busted right now. I got really upset because I was meant to be streaming Gambit on Monday.
That's right. You were. Yes.
Yeah. So I tried to get a few people together. Hey, Clicks. So I spoke to Clicks and gave him a key. Because I couldn't get hold of anybody else, because no one else was available, and that was like fine. So got Clicks to try it. I couldn't get past on virtual desktop. I couldn't get past the very, very first screen. There's something bugged about it that doesn't allow virtual desktop to get past it. So I then jumped onto Airlink. Once Clicks had tried it, and he said, "Yep, no, it definitely works. I can get in." So I jumped onto Airlink and managed to get in. But then when I went to go and set up a private server, it just straight up would not allow it. Doesn't allow private servers whatsoever. So currently, I think they've worked a lot on the Quest version, and it feels pretty good. But yeah, the Steam version, unfortunately, super bugged.
Yeah. I am concerned. I mean, we played it and had a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of contact with the developer. We're under NDA and embargo, so I can't talk really about it, but it's coming soon, and I'm concerned.
Oh, sorry. What I missed this. I was reading chat. What you were concerned about? What?
I'm saying we're I think well, Serge as well. You got a key, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're under embargo. We're under NDA. So we can't talk about when the game is releasing. But it will be here fairly soon. You know, I'm not going to give you any sort of dates or anything. I'm concerned about it. I'm hoping it doesn't launch like Zero Caliber Reloaded. When it launched, it didn't have co-op. It had co-op. It didn't have multiplayer. It didn't have. It was just broken. It was just really bad. The graphically looked awful. It was buggy. I mean, now it's if you want to play co-op, you want to play multiplayer. Like gun game on Zero Caliber is amazing. I hope they don't release Gambit in that same state to sort of say, well, here it is, and in 6 months' time it'll be really good. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've all played it. So how do you feel about that, Serge? Because obviously you were part of that.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun playing with you guys. There was nothing that's. It wasn't standout. That's all I can say for me. But it was fun because of who you play with. But it I just hope they do some work on it. You know.
Yeah.
Apparently, so I read a statement from the X-Real guys about Gambit actually the other day, and it was on a Steam forum, and somebody turned around and said on the Gambit page, the community page, they were like, well, I was really excited for this until I saw it was the same guys that released Zero Caliber. Right. And then they were instantly just like, I'm just not interested now, because when Zero Caliber came to PC VR, it had some interesting things and it was pretty cool. And then it got ported over to Quest, and Quest got a shitload of extra bits and bobs that never got ported to PC, despite them saying that it was going to be ported to PC. And the X-Real guys did actually reply and say, for starters, the Gambit game, both on PC and on Quest, on its release date will be a full game. It won't be an early access game at all. They're not going to do early access. They're going to go straight to full release, which is big. That's awesome. But also they did say as part of that post that there is an update coming for the PC version that should actually give us those things that we've been wanting for so long, and crossplay.
Yeah, that's the most important thing for me. I love Zero Caliber Reloaded, but it's on Quest 2, and it looks okay. It's much better than it was, but on PC it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I bought it because I was looking for like a campaign solo thing, and I played it and I thought it was great, but I haven't picked it up since, just because of everyone's playing on the Quest 2, and I've got it on the PC. I've seen I've seen you guys play gun game and all that stuff, and it's really good fun. Yeah, it's just why does PC have to wait so long for that?
Yeah, I think what happened was that the PC version was the early access version, and they realised where the cash cow was. And fair play to them. You got 15 million Quest 2s there. I can totally understand it. VR, it's very rare that VR makes money, which actually is something I wanted to talk about later on. And it's just going to write it down there. I can totally understand why they did it, but they kind of abandoned the PC players. And the same thing happened with Onward, if you remember. Onward was 2016, it launched on PC, had a massive user base. They launched it onto Quest 2 with crossplay, and then massively downgraded the PC VR version. They removed a load of objects from the scenery to make it more simplistic, and there was a huge backlash. And obviously, it seems like PC VR is like the sort of second-class citizens, as it were. So I'm really pleased to hear that X-Real are going to put crossplay in for the PC VR version.
are going to sort their shit out. Yeah.
PC VR version is really good. It just needs that. It needs that player base, and then the injection of Quest 2 players is it's going to make it so much better. Guys, I'm going to show you something.
Are you? Well, if he stands up, everybody avert your eyes.
Run! I'm going to show you something, and how am I going to do this? Yeah, I'm going to show you something, and you'll know how relevant it is.
How relevant it is.
How relevant it is to you.
To me.
To you too. To both of you.
Us.
To both of you.
This is like Christmas.
It is. Literally, as we were talking, I got a ping and I got an email.
What the hell is that?
Oh, yes. Yes.
What is that? I didn't even see that.
That is a picture of two
Aspire.
robots
Oh.
doing all the nasty things to human beings.
Right, I'm going to read the NDA. Do you want to talk about Aspire while I'm reading the NDA to see if we can actually discuss anything?
Okay. So, have you played the original Aspire?
Yes, I have played.
Yes.
I played on the PSVR and the AI was horrendous. Then I got it on the PC. AI was a bit better, but not the best. So I think this new version, the sequel, I think they're gonna fix everything and make it pretty cool. Because I always loved stealth games. There's not enough stealth games in VR.
Yeah. Right.
I played it recently, actually fully on the Pico 4.
Yep.
And I didn't I wasn't in the mood to play it for a long period of time, so I didn't play it stealth at all. I did the entire game without any stealth. I was just like, nope, gonna run and get the shit out of this. And I had a blast. Like, yeah, the AI is garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun nonetheless.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. I was like, I don't know. I played on the PSVR and they were like, everyone said it's better on the PC. It was alright. The AI was garbage, and it just put me off it, to be honest. But I think I played quite enough on the PSVR to get what it was about. So yeah, it's decent. It was decent, the game, but the AI was a little bit, it had some mental issues, I think. So yeah, looking forward to like the sequel and seeing what they improve on it. But,
Yeah, what they've improved.
Yeah.
Right,
so
okay.
What can you say, mate? What can you tell
this
us?
is where he turns around and he says, you actually can't speak about anything, especially the fact that you are going to possibly be able to give it a go. It's...
Yeah.
Right, so just for clarity, the developers from Aspire, that was lovely noise there. The people from Aspire to the developers Digital Load actually reached out to me and said, would you like to preview Aspire 2? Of course, I bit the hand off right down to the ankle, because why wouldn't you? And then they very kindly said if you have any content creators that they would give them access as well. So I put forward Surgeon.
Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it, mate, very much.
So basically, I have been given access to the preview build. There is an embargo, which we'll talk about after the stream. We usually have a chat for about half an hour after the stream's finished. There is an embargo, so there's a couple of things we need to talk about. But yeah, you need to check your Quest 2 store to see whether you've been given access, or you should have got an email. Or you will be getting an email too. Okay.
Awesome source.
Awesome source. Although, I would like to say, right, you two get access. You're not allowed to play the multiplayer together and leave me out.
I feel like that's exactly what we should do now.
Mate, I'm getting off the stream. I'm going to play right now.
No, blah,
this is his punishment.
Blah,
this is his punishment for moving
yes.
podcast.
You need punishment, Mac. Where are you? You're there. You need to be punished.
I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, that's your punishment. So we were supposed to do this podcast on Monday as usual, but Mac decided that he'd get married and have a wife who had a birthday on the Tuesday. So
she actually, her birthday was on the Monday.
I was going to say this was the problem. Is he forgot that was her birthday?
Yeah.
Well,
you told us.
The thing was, she said she'd organised this thing where we were going away on Tuesday. We were going to go to York for do some culture and get drunk and have a nice dinner. So I was like, in my little gorilla monkey brain, being back in VR, I was like, oh, that'll be the 24th then, which is her birthday. And then on the Friday, I was like working away, and I was like, oh, hold on, it's the 22nd, which means no, it's the 21st, which means Monday is her birthday. And I was like, sweetheart, can I do the podcast on Monday? And she was just like, no. You got to spend time with me.
Oh, he's
no.
under the thumb.
Yes.
So far under the thumb.
Yeah. Well, I did. Come on, Matt, go on.
I've talked to Shuey about this extensively. I am the most kept man in the world. Like, she does everything for me. I would like to point out I did pay the fucking mortgage off at the beginning of the year, but that's completely. But she looks after me. I'm basically a kept man, and I want to keep it that way. So if I get into trouble with you two for postponing the podcast,
yeah, you did say to me like last week. You were like, she said no VR, so over the weekend and all that stuff, and just at least you got away and you weren't in your Mac cave masturbating to weird porn and editing videos. You got out.
We're not talking about Pornhub again. We're not talking about Pornhub.
No. This was on X Hamster. This is a whole different thing.
Oh, that's fine. X Hamster's a bit more brutal because there's a few more enthusiastic amateurs on X Factor. X Hamster, not X Factor. That would be a different program. That would be a different program, wouldn't it?
I'd watch that program.
Instead of a big red button, you get a big red dildo. Ball. Fuck me, this went downhill quickly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and I started it as usual. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Clueless
Dad's just said, born to play porn.
So
right, okay, so off the porn, we're going to go on to a reasonable VR subject that is not VR porn. It's, what do we want to go with first?
Well, we'll just search. You can pick a subject and then we'll
okay. Yeah, sure. What about let's talk about the Pico 4, because you got yours quite recently, right, Mac?
I got mine on Tuesday last week.
Yeah.
So that was I've had it for over a week now.
Yeah.
Chewy got his
about 6 months ago,
and we're not going to talk about it.
I've had my Pico 4 before they even had like a skin to it. They just sent me the parts to put together myself.
It was a big ass NDA. That was it.
I begged and pleaded with them, and I just got ignored.
There was a very interesting situation with the Pico 4 NDA and embargo, actually, that I wouldn't mind talking about.
Yeah, go for it.
Before we go on to the actual, how we felt about it, how we've been getting on with it, etc. So, I'm sitting there, right, and I'm making a Pico 4 video. And I'm making a Pico 4 video about, the Bobo VR attachment and stuff like that. And halfway through editing, I go and sit down and I have my beans on toast, as the Brits tend to do. And I'm looking through Twitter, and there's a post on there from Beardo Benjo. And this is not a hate thing against Beardo at all. Actually, me and him had a huge conversation afterwards. But he put on there, what the fuck's going on? I can't remember exactly what he said. This is a huge paraphrase, and there was definitely no swearing. But he was like, what the hell's going on? I've obviously got a Pico, and I know what the embargo says. And yet people are just saying, fuck the embargo. We're going to release our videos and reviews now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit, have I fucked up?
I did see that post. Yeah.
I went back to my emails, and I didn't, because my anxiety was super heightened. And I was shaking, and I was going through my emails like a madman trying to go through a filing cabinet. And I got to the point where I was looking through them, and I found one email that literally just said, do not release it until the 18th. And I was just like, I think I misread this email. And so I sat there in shock, and I was just like, oh shit, I really fucked up. Like that NDA was probably like super airtight, and I'm now going to get sued by ByteDance. And but anyway, once I'd calmed down and read through them, I actually found an email that literally said the words, "Don't worry about it. Release what you want. We had a problem with our system. We couldn't email you back. I apologize. Blah, 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 blah. Release however you want, wherever you want, whatever you want. Go nuts." And then I had an email 2 days later after I put up the review that said, "Don't release anything until the 18th." And I was like, "Well, cat's out of the bag now, boys. It's been released.
Yeah.
it's happened." And he was like, "Oh, that's fine. No worries. Send me a link." Yeah. And everything was good. Like me and the people that I was speaking to, they didn't care. They were happy that it was out there. They liked what I put out anyway. And so obviously when I saw this this tweet from Beardo, I was shitting it. And I'm not one. I'm pretty outspoken when I'm doing my own thing and when I can actually speak and people can see my face or at least hear my voice, and I will give my opinions. But I'm not eloquent enough to put things into tweets properly because you're very, very limited and no one can see that half the time I'm being sarcastic. And so I don't tend to do it because I don't like the drama of it. Because I just don't enjoy Twitter EastEnders. It's just not my jam.
Yeah.
So I messaged Beardo and I was just like, just so that you know, I didn't like, I genuinely, I followed it to the letter. I did as I was told. So there must be some inconsistencies here.
Yeah.
But that Twitter thread, if you go and find it on Beardo's page, like that was huge. Like people were ripping people like me a new one because I'd released a review outside of the embargo, when actually it was just a huge amount of miscommunication over the release of the Pico 4.
Yeah, I think the whole release of the Pico 4 didn't go well. Something else I want to talk about, but that whole conversation with Beardo Benjo was, and it basically came out that different people were given different embargoes, and that's basically what happened, isn't it?
Yeah, there were 3 different companies.
Yeah. So with the Pico 4, I should have got mine on the 4th of October because I was told by the company, it was System Active, that the Pico 4 was going to launch on the 4th of October. They would take payment on the 3rd of October. They would ship on the 3rd, next day delivery, and I'll get my Pico on the 4th. Great. They did the same thing with the Pico 3. They were like, "We've got the stock, why don't we just release it?" And Pico went, "Yeah, go on then." So they did the same thing. They said, "We've got the stock, we're going to release it on the 4th." And Pico didn't answer them until the guy who's like the shipping guy in System Active got an email at 5 o'clock as he was about to go home on the Monday saying, "No, you can't ship the Pico 4, we're withholding the stock." So he was like, "We've just taken payment from all of our pre-orders." And they were like, "No, you can't send them. You have to wait 2 weeks." So that put System Active in a really difficult position. And I think it's just because Pico, as a European company, haven't existed for very long.
I agree. Like, it's the Pico 3, the Pico Neo 3 Link, right? That was their first major big sort of dive into Europe. And it wasn't huge. Like, they didn't have a huge run of the actual console itself.
No.
And the big promise was that they were going to do something that was going to do crazy shit later in the year, which is why you bought it, right? That was your reason for buying the 3 Link, essentially.
It was,
And you got your discount off of it. And on the whole, I think that the Pico 4, as a headset, I think it's pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, absolutely agree with you completely. I don't know whether this has happened to you. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Did you wave? Look, here you go, people. This is why we were a minute late today, because Max got his new gadget.
And it's got tracking. And every time I raise, I've tried. I thought I'd turned the tracking off. Hold on a second.
I think you should just leave the tracking on now, mate. You're still in a good position for me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just leave
Kind of.
It's just I'm kind of shrunk down a bit. Hold on. We'll just zoom in a bit. There you go.
Sorry, I'm just having this really interesting conversation with Tribwolf, and he's sort of filling me in on all like this crazy stuff that I just didn't know about, how the Bone Lab footage got leaked and things.
Oh right, okay.
Did you know how this happened? Like, if anybody's reading my chat, you'll see what happened. But apparently, I'm not. I'm gonna withhold judgment in case it's not true. I'm not saying, Tribe, that you're wrong. You probably are much more in the know than I am. But apparently, he was the one that leaked the Bone Lab footage accidentally.
All right, okay.
Apparently, he had a video ready, and he said he accidentally put it in a public playlist.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, and according to Tribe, he's now in a bit of trouble with Meta. So,
oh dear.
Yeah. I mean, that's the last thing. I mean, he's obviously. I think he's an amazing guy. We met him. He was hugely lovely to spend all weekend with at EGX. But he's obviously had a bad time because he's been sort of let go from fast travel games.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so he we obviously saw him working with fast travel games at EGX, and he got let go because they didn't want to have any remote sort of workers anymore.
Yeah,
they wanted people in the
Game
office,
Attack, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. To Game Attack.
Oh right, sorry. I thought you were talking about Tribe. Sorry.
No. Tribe doesn't work for fast travel games, as far as I know. Tribe, do you work for fast travel games?
No.
So yeah, no, they brought it all sort of in-house so that you had to live within a certain area to go into the office.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
But imagine, just imagine for a second, right? You get to a certain point in your YouTube career, you're a massive part of the VR community, and you get offered a job that is working for a VR company, basically doing what you already do, but getting paid to do it, which is to showcase people VR games and show people why VR is so freaking amazing. And you do that, like you leave a decent paying job that pays all of your bills to go and do this job, and 6 months later you get dropped.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I think like I don't know how he's feeling. I've only spoken to him a couple of times since, and I really hope he's doing well. But I can only imagine just how shit that must be and how scary. Like, you're right, Tribe. Like, that is a scary thing, and I don't think necessarily they did the dirty on him, as such. Like, they're obviously trying to do things from a business point of view, and that makes sense. But yeah, it really sucks to upheave somebody only to then drop them 6 months later. So yeah, that's the GT story of things anyway. So love goes out to GT. I do genuinely love the guy.
I tell you what, you have an opinion, you have like an idea of what people are like from their videos and their social and all that sort of stuff. So the guys who I think are genuinely in the UK, the UK streamers. I mean, we're not talking about people like Clicks. He's just like, I met him, I didn't like him. He's a bit sort of.
Yeah.
I'm only joking, Clicks.
Don't worry, Clicks. He thinks I'm a wanker too. It's fine.
So the sort of impression you get of these people are that they are nice people and they're very genuine. So like Steve knows, seems like a nice lad. Beardo Benjo, Gamertag, and Mike from VRO. So I'm quite lucky that I've actually met Gamertag and Mike. Mike is exactly as you'd expect him to be. He's just a lovely, lovely fella. And Gamertag was exactly the same. I mean, like we were sat down at the EGX booth, and he was taking a break from doing his presentation. And he turned around to me and said, "Oh, congratulations on getting 13,000 subs." He said, "I know how difficult that is. It's a real ball ache. You're doing really well." And I was just sitting there going, there's no reason for him to be like that. He's a big YouTuber. He's got a lot of profile in the industry. Obviously, Fast Travel Games took him on. And I just remember thinking, what a nice fella. What a lovely thing to say. Just to encourage like a smaller YouTuber who's up and coming, just sit them down and go, I think you're doing really well. It's really hard to get past 10,000 subs. I think, yeah, well done. Congratulations, mate. And then I got a gamer tag hug, which broke about 50
I was going to say, broke ribs, right? I completely agree with you. I actually got to meet Beardo that weekend as well.
Yeah, I missed him. He was sat down with his girlfriend having dinner. He just got his sandwich, and I walked past and I was like, no, I don't really want to disturb him. I don't want to be that wanker who goes, Sophie.
Here's the thing, right? When I spoke to Beardo about that Twitter thing, right? I said, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Power on VR. We shook hands when we were at EGX, but I didn't want to like fanboy all over you because you looked a bit tired, and like I didn't want to be that guy because you were talking to GT and your missus, and so I was just, and he was like, you should have come and spoken to me, and like, because he's just as socially awkward as me apparently, in real person stuff. And so yeah, that was pretty awesome. We sort of chatted, and it turns out that we're both going to the Blink-182 concert in Birmingham, I think, or Nottingham next year. So I'm going to go and meet up with him hopefully and have a few drinks before we go and nerd out over our sort of late 90s, early 2000s punk rock.
Yes, I love a bit of Blink-182.
Yeah, those tickets were hard to get, man.
I can imagine, yeah.
So yeah, hence why I am now poor. Anyway, yeah. So Pico hardware and stuff. What do you think are the strengths of it thus far?
But I'll give you scope to talk about what you want to talk about. So for me, one of the things I really liked about the Pico 4 is the color pass-through. I think that is awesome. And I also think what's also awesome is I found out that the Quest Pro shipped without its depth sensor.
Yeah.
They binned it at the last minute, which means the Quest Pro is working off basically the same camera that the Pico 4 is. So I'm wondering if with a bit of software tweaking they can get their pass-through as good as the Quest Pro, which I think they probably can, because there are some talented people at Pico. But what I
if there aren't talented enough people, they'll just hire better people. Like, they have the money.
Yeah. So what I really liked about it is you can just double tap, same as the Quest. You can just double tap your head strap, and you go into the pass-through mode. And it's good enough that I walked out of my man cave. I walked into the house. I put a kettle on. I went upstairs, walked to the top of the stairs, said hello to the dog, had a conversation with the wife. She's like, what are you wearing your headset for? I was like, oh, it's amazing. Came back downstairs, and I was like, this really works, right? This is like if you tried to do that with the Quest 2 pass-through, you probably would have vomited and tripped over and fucking killed yourself. So that, to me, was pretty amazing, I think. So, what was the standout part of the hardware for you then?
So the standout part of the hardware for me, like, I obviously love the color pass-through, and everyone's pretty high on the color pass-through, and they're going to be more high on it with the Quest Pro coming out and being released now. The standout for me was the controllers. So I don't know if you watched my question and answer video that I did, and the end of that was basically this guy calling me a liar, because I described the controllers as, and I quote myself, these awesome controllers, right? And this guy on my video turned around on my review video turned around and said, You're a liar. These are not awesome. They don't do X, Y, and Z. Like these big old the rings being on there still makes them not awesome in any way, shape, or form. Like the Quest ones are obviously the ring is at the top, and the Pico it goes across. Actually, I've got one sat right here. So yeah,
for my stream.
Yeah. So we're just being dicks now because Serge. I was going to say, Serge's going to go and not get a Pico one.
He's going to get his index.
There we
go. Index.
It's actually quite simple, but yeah, yours is like over the front, isn't it? Yeah.
Can you hold the Can you hold the back side of the index controller up? Yeah. So just lower it down a little bit.
I'll
Yeah.
set the front. You guys are doing that thing. I'll just hold the front.
No, the reason is because I have a contact in ProTube. I have several contacts in ProTube, and the Quest, sorry, the Index mag cups when they first released were awful. They were ugly, big chunks of plastic, and they did a really elegant solution where you basically just clipped the mag cup onto the ring, and it was like a little tiny piece of plastic with a mag cup on the end, and it was really elegant. It was a beautiful solution, and I'm thinking they can probably do the same thing with the Pico controllers, because they are. The only thing I had a problem with is this.
Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah, on that one.
Yeah, you have to, like, you hold the Pico controller like this.
I found a problem with that when I've gone to pick them up, when I've actually gone, like, to pick them up. And half the time I pick up the wrong one in the wrong hand.
Yes.
And because it's completely not obvious how to do it.
Mm-hmm. So you end up with your right controller with your left hand.
Yeah, and it's really dodgy. But as you pointed out on your review, Mac, as I pointed out on mine, the battery system for this is my favourite thing on a controller that's ever been made. Like, I'm going to try and do it. Hang on, I'm going to try and do it next to my mic so you can sort of hear it as I do it. I just bashed my mic. That probably sounded like garbage.
Hold on, I'll get it next to mine as well.
There we go.
Yours and I'll do mine. Yeah, so are you listening? Ready? It's like reloading a gun. It's awesome.
It genuinely feels like you're putting a magazine in, and it's so quick and it's so easy. I've been, from what you were saying, Mac, about the ProTube side of things, I've been speaking to them because they were meant to get their. That's super flimsy.
Oh, it's shit. Honestly, it's really. I mean, this is a quality controller. It's so good, and it's got what you can't see is it's textured here, so that your hand doesn't slip.
Yeah, it's like you've got a grip on there anyway.
Yeah, whereas this is just a plasticky piece of crap. It's like literally, you can see that. I still do like my Pico Neo 3, but
so why have you not sold your Pico, like the old one?
I'm keeping that for a specific reason, which I will be talking about in a video which I'm working on.
Okay.
He's going to drop it from a bridge. We're stress testing VR headsets today, guys, at the Hoover Dam.
So I was
Look, I've turned off gesture controls.
Oh, congratulations! You got there in the end.
I was going to ask you guys, because my cousin recently, 2 months ago, got a Quest 2, and he watched your videos and that, and then I speak to him yesterday, and he was kind of pissed off. He's like, for fuck's sake, maybe I should have waited and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously his library in the Quest 2 is not going to be huge, and so the past couple of months he's bought a handful of titles. What would you say? Would you say to him, like, sell your Quest 2 and just go move on to Pico? Or would you say stick?
This is really difficult. I mean, I think me and Power On It in our reviews both came to the same conclusion. That was, if you have a Quest 2 and you only play standalone, no, absolutely not. If you mostly play PC, if you play PCVR exclusively, absolutely. Those pancake lenses and that screen. And another thing which I did talk about in my review is the sweet spot is huge. You can put that headset on your face and move it up and down, and it's just perfectly clear. I mean, I wear glasses, and I need them for reading, which isn't ideal for prescription lenses for VR. But I'm getting some VR Rock. I think you are as well, Shuey.
Mine are on the way.
Yeah, mine are on the way. I'm getting some VR Rock prescription lenses, and I can't wait because it's so clear and so crisp. I can't wait for it to actually be able to use the prescription lenses to make it even more clear. It's just incredible. Sorry, going back to your original question about your cousin. If they play standalone and they haven't got a big library,
I still think you should be on the Quest 2
Yeah.
in that instance. Like that.
Yeah.
The thing is the software. They did several incremental updates to the UI even before the 18th. So from when I had it, I think there were 2 major UI updates and software updates for the Pico 4. Henry, if you're watching, man, can you provide Ninja with a Discord link for me, please? So yeah, basically, it looks so much better, even only after 3 weeks of them playing around with it, or even 2 weeks, I think it might have been. But it's still not got the library quality of the Oculus, no, you know what? Fuck it, the Oculus Store.
Now we've got a rival,
and it doesn't have. It doesn't have access to like side quests or anything like that at the moment, which is huge.
tracking. Yeah, it is.
No,
actually,
it has hand tracking. It does have hand tracking,
but it's in beta. One of the things I was going to talk about was the App Lab. There's now like 3 times as many games on App Lab than there is on the actual official Quest Store.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that's wrong. It feels like there's more than that, right? There has to be.
No,
like, 3 times seems low.
Yeah,
I know the official store is big, but like the App Lab is massive.
Hold on. I actually do have the screen up.
That's what, I'm not calling you a liar, Mac. It just seems like if every time I go through the official store, there's like, I don't know, like 100 games or something, and I go and look at App Lab, and it's like thousands.
Yeah, hold on. It is here.
App Lab is side quest and App Lab. I mean, side quest has obviously got.
Oh, there you go. Here you go. Quest App Lab soars to 1,440 apps, more than tripling those on the main store. Sorry, I'm actually gonna put that up because. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so. Yeah, Pico need to get App Labs on board. They absolutely need to get App Labs on board, and I don't think it would be a big thing. It's just maybe a controller question, a tracking question.
Possibly. It isn't just about controllers.
Yeah. I mean,
because
a different API.
I actually tried. I don't know if you tried to get anything else working, Mac, from any other sources. I actually tried. I spent a good deal of time trying to get side quest games and App Lab games and insert other totally legal things here, games, to try and see what was possible with it. Like I couldn't get anything working at all. Yeah. And it's because it's a completely different system.
I've got a similar situation here. I've got Dr. Beef's Doom 3 port. I paid for that. You upload it to your Quest 2, and it's a fantastic port. So I did it via SideQuest. I uploaded it onto my Pico. Nothing. And then Team Beef announced that that Doom 3 port is coming to Pico.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's another bonus. So you'll be able to play like Doom 3 and what was the Star Wars game they announced recently?
Oh, Jedi
Outcast?
No, I don't think it was. Jedi Academy? No.
Something like that. Anyway, Classy Baddie just said she likes my t-shirt. She's one of yours, isn't she, Serge?
Yeah, one of yours.
Yeah,
she's one of yours.
Like Serge's harem.
She was one of mine until she just turned up to the podcast. She got the time wrong. So yeah, she belongs to you now.
So she's late.
Oh, so you're getting rid of her now that she's late. I see.
No, we appreciate you, Classy, and who else is there? Livid, Pegs, Glitch. Tasso slipped in to flirt with me, guys, just so you know.
I know.
No, I did see, and I ignored it. You absolute...
Clueless maniac, and there's a few in there googly, and yeah. Appreciate you guys being here for my first ever non-sober.
First ever podcast.
Yeah, and I'm actually not... I'm sober, straight as a judge. There you go. A judge in hot pants. But yeah, so with the whole Pico thing, I get what both of you are saying, because I think in the back of his mind he knows that for standalone he's better for Quest, but he's thinking about moving on to PC now, so he'll have to just decide as he goes if he gets
it
PC.
is.
Yeah.
So there's one other Pico subject I'd like to talk about, which my Pico review went live on Sunday. I think it's doing quite well. It's done about 7,000 views or something. I'll just have a quick. It's done about 7,000 views. So that's pretty good.
It's better than the how garbage my Bone Lab video went yesterday. That went down like a lead balloon.
So it's done about 7,000 views. So, sorry, Serge, to cut you off. Fanboys.
Great film.
We are getting VR fanboys. We are starting to get the PlayStation and Xbox equivalent of fanboys in VR.
Yeah, well, they all sucked anyway because Nintendo was clearly the better console.
Nintendo had the better games. Nintendo always had the better games.
100%.
Fuck, hell, Christ almighty. So, I don't know, have you experienced that with any of your Pico stuff, that there's like people who just go, no, it's crap, it's from a Chinese company, it's just rubbish. And they're like...
Yeah, hang on, I'm gonna find my video because I want to find specifically a comment that was made.
Name and shame.
And I don't want to name the person, but the way there was a comment made that just really, really pissed me off. Because it was like, does it have this? No. Does it have that? No. Does it have the other? No. And I actually went, like, I don't usually reply to these people. I usually just let them sit in limbo. But I was like, do you know what? No, that's actually bad information. You're giving out wrong information to my viewers. So fuck you. I'm going to call you the shit out and just be like, no, you can stop talking about your shit. Absolutely bugger off. So yeah, I'm gonna just quickly go through and see if I can find this comment because it was ridiculous. But yeah, by all means, carry on talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I have experienced it.
Yeah, I had a similar situation last week with a developer. I'm not going to get into it, but it was so funny. Yeah. But even I did say to Mike, bloody hell, Mac, one of your videos, you did comment of the week. I found that quite funny as well.
Yeah, a guy had made a comment on one of my Zero Caliber Reloaded videos, but it was actually like the first one I did when it released, and it was rubbish. I've since reviewed it a couple of times, and now like I said, as we talked about in the stream, I think it's one of the best games on Quest 2 for multiplayer, for co-op, and all that sort of stuff. But this kid had written Zero Caliber is, I can't remember what he said now. Zero Caliber is great, and you're boring. And I was like, dude, Zero Caliber is great, and you're fucking misinformed. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I don't like Shui said, I don't usually sort of engage in the negativity, or I try and put a positive spin on it. But yeah,
I was the same.
Yeah. It's just like I can't be asked with negativity.
Okay, so I actually do want to go over this just quickly. Where is my webcam gone? That's really annoying. I'm sure I put it on here.
Just give me a second, guys.
Yeah, so where is it gone? Where am I? I've disappeared off the face of the earth.
It's the Dementia Podcast.
Yeah, 100%. I can see you for sure, mine. So your actual thing's still working.
No, because I've jumped onto a different. I've jumped onto my other part of my setup. And my webcam has just entirely disappeared. So hang on, I'm going to quickly sort this. So hang on, transform. Yeah. Let's just go fit to screen. No, that hasn't worked. That's weird. I have no idea. Okay, never mind. It's not working. Whatever. Oh no, there I am. Here I am, people.
It'd be so funny if you heard Mac So VR Realm, hey there mate, he's arrived, and Blue Bottles. They were just saying like it'd be funny if you just had Mac taking a massive slash, like he forgot to turn his mic off.
I mean, it'd be interesting.
It would. I've
Depending
never
on
heard
what you're into, I guess.
I've never heard what a 55, whatever year old man pees like. So.
Oh, you haven't lived. You haven't lived. Anyway, so yeah, I want to read you this guy's rant, okay? Because he's just being a massive tit. Okay, so in fact, I'm even gonna, like, you can't see it. I've covered up his name, kind of. But anyway, so here's what he says. Here, I'll save you some time and money to not buy this trash. Seems dumb. This video went up before it was out, so he has obviously never played it. I'm assuming it's a he. Might be a she. Might be a they. Don't care. Either way, they suck. Can you change the strap like on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you change the foam on the face cover like on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you plug in headphones via 3.5mm jack like on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you play Beat Saber and Resident Evil 4 like on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you play games at 120 FPS like on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you have near even games as on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you stream PCVR as good as Airlink on Quest 2? No, you can't. Can you have custom grips on the controllers like on Quest 2? No, you can't, because of how the ring is covering the controllers on Pico 4. Can you install a fan like on Quest 2? No, you can't. There, you're welcome. Keep your Quest 2, or if you don't have one, get one. What a load of absolute shit. Like, that is the worst rundown of shit that I've ever gone through. So, ignoring my I'll just put... Right, okay, let's just go over these one by one. Can you change the strap like on Quest 2? Well, obviously not. It's a built-in strap, you tit. And the sort of thing you're going to swap it for... the Pico fixes, like, the reason why we were swapping the head strap was because the original head strap was garbage. This head strap's pretty damn good.
You don't need to swap it out.
Yeah, I've heard that from everyone. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
The point.
You don't need to swap it out.
So who gives a shit? So yeah, that's the first point. Can you plug in? No, hang on. Can you change the foam on the face cover like on Quest 2? Yes. Yes, you can.
I'm going to do
it's
it
magnetic.
live. I'm going to do it live on stream, right? Watch this. Magnetic. And it's back on.
And it's almost like it's a better system than on the Quest 2.
No, it is. Magnets is so much better.
It's on.
Yeah.
It's off.
VR Cover have already stated that they're already working on it. So, yeah, absolutely. That's complete bullshit. Can you plug in headphones via a 3.5 jack like on the Quest 2? Not natively. He does have a slight point on this, but you can, as Mac is probably about to show you, use an adapter in order to get your 3.5mm headphones onto your Pico. It's a little USB-C. It probably costs, what, $5?
Less than a $5. I think it was like $3.99. I use it because I have a Rode wireless mic, so I need it for my phone, so I know it works. I've plugged my headphones into it. Yeah, it costs like $3.99. And the next thing he's probably going to say is, you can't charge it and plug your headphones in.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, because that was
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that was one of the original things before it even came out. People were saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can do it. It's not. Don't get me wrong. You can't do it out of the box. Like, that is the pet peeve of mine. You can't do it out of the box.
Yeah.
He then says.
But so I'd just like to say, and I think you've actually made a similar video to me, that the Quest 2 isn't a £300 headset. It's a £600. It's a £600 headset.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get a VR cover. You have to get an Oculus Elite strap,
or a Bobo VR,
or a Bobo VR strap, or anything, you know. And by the time you've upgraded it, it's. I think my Quest 2 stands me at. I've got like Pro straps and mag cups and a Bobo VR headset. It stands me at about £560.
I mean, to be honest,
it's
guys,
insane, right?
Because I sold it. I sold my Quest 2, and then I bought it again, and I was like, I am not spending any more money on this. So I've just got the stock, like everything like that. And then I had 3 broken Elite straps in my cupboard, and then I just did that, and it's held together for well over a month and a half. It's fine.
Right,
But
Serge,
yeah.
I've got an Elite strap in my garage that I don't use. I'll just send that down.
I was going to say I have many different head straps that I will send you, dude.
Oh, hold on. Should we have a who's got the most head straps in their office?
I can't get to most of mine. They're under my PC.
Right, this is just a small selection. I've got a Destech Elite strap. I've got a Geek VR Elite strap. What's in this one?
Which Geek VR one have you got?
Hold on. I've got a M2.
Because I got sent Geek VR's brand new one, which has got like the weird battery pack on it. Yeah. This is what I'm cracking open this week.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Serge, if this is pretty good, I'll send you that instead.
That's got removable batteries.
It's got removable batteries, yeah.
Guys,
One.
I can't get over the amount of straps you guys have got. I mean, I was on the phone to Mac earlier today, actually, and he was like, I've got battery straps coming out my ass. He goes, I'm not accepting anymore.
I did. I actually, people send me emails about battery straps all the time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is.
9.
I've literally
I have 11 head straps in this room with me right now.
Yeah, I literally I've got so sick of trying to give this away that I'm just gonna give it to Weeble because he was like, "Can I have that?" I was like, I tried to give it away. One of my channel members, called Long Fung Thunderfist, he actually won this, but he lives in Malaysia, and I was like, "Dude, it's gonna cost me 60 quid to send it to you." So I just sent him some gift cards. But yeah, so this is now going to Weeble. So if anybody in the UK wants a fucking head strap, me and Power On have about. Oh my god, there's another one in there. There's another Destech Elite strap in there as well.
Yeah, no, I've got 2 Destechs in here right now. It's crazy. God knows how many Halo straps. I've already given Henry Van Leer several head straps that he's had over the time as well. I've even got head strap augmentations. This is getting into a competition now. Anyway, I just want to finish going over a couple of these points because he's talking shit still.
Forgot about him, yeah.
No, you can't. Can you play Beat Saber and Resident Evil 4 like on Quest 2? No, but can you play, like, if you go back 10 years, could you play Halo on a PlayStation?
Yeah.
No.
Can you play Last of Us on an Xbox? No, of course you can't.
Yeah, no, this is the thing, right, is, you're going to have exclusives, but also, like, I like Beat Saber, and I like Resident Evil 4, but they're not the be-all and end-all of VR for me. They're not Half-Life Alyx. Can you play Half-Life Alyx on a Quest 2? No, you fucking can't.
Exactly. I'm sorry, but Sim on my chat is just. That's actually going to be the comment of the week. Mac and Power On are having a strap off.
Love it. So Ninja, I will send you your key when we're done on the podcast, mate. I've seen the DM. I know you've DM'd me. I will send you the key later, mate. Don't worry, it is coming. You haven't lost out. Can you play games at 120 FPS like on Quest 2? No. And let's just be literal on this. Most people don't play at 120 FPS. You have up to 120 FPS with the 120 hertz refresh rate. Like, it's possible to do that, but we weren't able to do that ages ago. Like, we were actually limited to 72 and 90 hertz on the Quest 2. I don't know whether it's possible to upgrade that via software. I'm not sure. You probably can't, but either way, I don't feel like I'm losing too much by dropping from 120 to 90 on the Pico 4, in all honesty.
I'll be completely honest here. I run my Quest 2 at 90 hertz. I don't see any reason to run it any higher than that. You know, even when I'm using virtual desktop, I run it at 90 hertz.
Yeah, I do as well. Can you stream PC VR as good as Airlink on Quest 2? No, you can't with Airlink, unfortunately, but you can use their much, much better system of virtual desktop.
Yeah.
Virtual desktop. I've talked to Gig Godin quite often on Twitter, and he has actually said to me that the Pico version, because of the way the Pico ecosystem is, sorry, the way the Pico works, it actually Virtual Desktop works better on the Pico than it does on the Quest, and because Quest has Airlink, they are very, very reluctant to help him, even though he has the #1 non-gaming app on the Quest. On the Quest store.
Let me guess. Pico just bit his hand off and said, "Yes, come and develop for us."
Right down to the fucking ankle, mate. Right down to the ankle. He basically, when the Pico 3 launched, he approached Pico and Pico were like, "Oh, sorry," and basically said to him, "Yeah, absolutely. Here, what do you need?" There was a few problems. There was something to do with the way the Pico. He did explain it to me, but my brain's all foggy. There was something to do with there was a problem with the way the Pico 3 did something that he couldn't get Virtual Desktop to work until they did an update. But once they did the update, I've now got Virtual Desktop on my Pico 3 and my Pico 4, and yeah, it's absolutely flawless. It's flawless, which is a good job because their wired solution is shit.
Yeah, it is terrible. Can you have custom grips on the controllers like on the Quest 2? Yes. Why wouldn't you be able to?
Yeah, I think
he's put no, you can't because of how the ring is covering the controls on the Pico 4. Then design things differently.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to design a cover for the PlayStation 5 controller the same as the Xbox One. It doesn't work like that, you moron. And then the last idiot thing that he says, other than no, you can't. There, you're welcome. He says, "Can you install a fan like on the Quest 2?"
So I don't know if people have noticed. Right, so this is a Pico 4. Right, this is my Pico 4, and I'm going to tip it up. Can you see this here? That is a vent, and if you play on your Pico 4 and it starts to get hot, the fans come on. And you can notice it. It's not like doesn't like go oh.
Yeah.
You can notice that there's a change in the air around your face, and they don't need a fucking fan because that works really well. And this isn't very big, and it doesn't make a lot of heat. But I think I'm not sure if he's talking about that type of fan. Or if he's talking about this type of fan. No, yeah, but the thing is...
because the facial interface has come off, this then attaches to it.
Yeah, or you don't need it because the fan on the Pico 4 is really good anyway.
Yeah, no, this guy, you can't see his name because he's... Well, I don't care enough to actually... Yeah. But this guy's been a fucking idiot.
I'm gonna be back in a second, but before I go... was that guy's name Mark Zuckerberg by any chance? You put the comment there. I'll see you in a second.
No, but the funniest reply to this is by a guy called Thomas Nielsen on my page, and his reply was simply, "Who hurt you, bro?"
I like a nice subtle insult.
I feel like he's got Stockholm syndrome for Meta. It's but yeah, no. So I know that was a bit of a rant. I know it was a long rant. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that so that things are covered. Because it really pissed me off.
The reason we got into this was because I asked the question about fanboys. Yeah, and so basically what's happening is there are now two camps, right? There are the Quest camp and there's the Pico camp, and never the twain shall meet. Unless you have moderators like myself, Power On, and Serge, who's not here at the moment. Just to sort of say, I have a Quest 2, and I really like my Quest 2. I'm not dissing it. It's a great headset. You know, up until I got my Pico 4, that was my main VR headset. But the Pico 4 is a really good alternative, and if you're going to play PC VR, it has a lot of good points. Hey, Paradise.
Hey, PD.
How you doing, mate?
We are in the age now of actual VR fanboys. It's no longer a class system. because I think before we had the Pico coming out,
Oh,
the
no,
VR
no.
was.
Serge needs to be here for this because he's going to start indexing, isn't he?
Yes and no. Like you had, in my opinion, you had 3 levels of. So you had like the workers, the labourers, and they are the Quest users, right?
Yeah.
They're the all-in-one systems. And then you had the Index users, who were your next level up, and they were spending about £1,000 compared to £300. Plus, they needed a gaming system to go along with it, a gaming PC to go along with it, and so they were like the upper middle class, let's say. And then you had people who had like the Vario Aero and the Pimax 8KX, and you're talking like $5,000, and those people were then buying sim racing kits, which were gonna like I can't remember somebody in your chat or in your Discord, I think they spent like $30,000 on their sim racing setup and something like that. So you know this, and then you're into the elite side of things, and now like and sorry, before we get there, I'm really sorry, Ninji. I will DM you, buddy, but it will be later, not now, because I'm in the middle of a podcast, mate. So yeah, basically, you have the reason why you didn't care about what other people were on was because you were in the system that you were in because you couldn't afford more, or you weren't willing to put out that initial outlay to get that extra ability. So, like for me, I bought a Quest because it was £300. It was nice and cheap, and we would then be able to. I'd be able to experience VR for a reasonable price. And I was considering then moving up because I've always had a gaming machine. I could have then purchased an indexed, and I would have moved up into that next echelon. But there was never a chance really that I was going to spend £3,000 on a Vario Area or a Pimax. It just wasn't going to happen because they were so insanely expensive. Yeah. But now we have 2 competing all-in-one standalone systems that are of a reasonably similar price in a price range that most people can realistically think about paying for a gaming console. And so we're now starting to see the Xbox versus PlayStation versus Nintendo systems.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for there to be that, like, Meta's already got their, I don't know, their marketing down. Let's say they have a certain look to it. Yeah. The problem is that unfortunately this looks very, very similar, and there's a good reason for that. But what I think they need to do is they need to start differentiating from each other and actually have like the anime girls created for them, like you had for Xbox and PlayStation, and there needs to be some marketing differentiation.
I told you were too early. I told you should have waited for him to come back.
I was talking about the class system and how you're the upper middle class, Serge, because you're a Mindex user. Middle class. Yeah. So yeah, like that's where, in my opinion, that's where we are at this moment in time.
Yeah. So like basically, Serge kind of missed a little bit of this conversation. As soon as you walked away, he started talking about class systems. So you have your sort of working class Quest 2 Pico 4, then you have your middle class Index PC VR Quest 2 users, and then you have your high end sort of, you know, your Rishi Sunaks and your Boris Johnsons who can afford a Vario and, you know, spend £30,000 on a sim racing rig. So I am in the upper middle class, I think, because I had an Index. I think the Pico display is better. The tracking, I'm still learning the headset. I don't know whether the tracking is as good as the Index yet. But I have a sim rig, so upper middle class.
I think the fact that you get less occlusion on the Pico makes a huge difference. Like, even if the tracking might not be as tuned, the fact that it has less occlusion makes a big difference to me.
Yeah, so if you play first person shooters, then you hold your controllers up like this, and this makes a big difference. Having the tracking wheels right here, right in front of you, that does make a big difference. I mean, I'm not very good at contractors, admittedly, but in the contractors when I've been playing sorry, I did a Contractors live stream, but I used my Quest 2. I've since played Contractors on my Pico 4, and I can't use my Pro Tube, unfortunately, because they haven't got the cups yet. But I was like, wow, this is really good. This tracking is really good. Yeah, so I'm impressed with these controllers.
Yeah, I think that's one of the highlights of the Pico 4 that stands out the most. For everyone is the tracking rings don't get in the way. Because even when I don't play that much on my Quest 2, but there is when you're in a firefight and you quickly reload and you go to put the mag in and it kind of catches on the ring.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
yeah,
does make
it does,
a difference,
yeah.
I'd like to point out for any potential marketing or engineers or designers out there, right, for this particular thing, it doesn't, because of how this is designed and the fact that I don't know if you can hear this, right? There is an actual gripping type. What's the word I'm looking for? Surface to this, right?
Yeah,
so
it's textured.
Textured. It's a textured surface, so you don't need extra grip on it. But what I do want is something that will actually act as a knuckle grip, right? Honestly, there doesn't need to be a full grip on here. If you were just to attach something to this part of the ring here and this part of the ring here to make it comfortable, that's all it needs. You don't need a full grip. So I genuinely feel like this could be an easy fix for grip to create a grip for these.
Oh, okay. So what
you mean like that?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so basically,
so a knuckle grip.
So here's my Pico 4 controller, and this is my Quest 2 controller with the Pro Tube Pro straps.
Yep.
How about that? Can you see what I'm trying to do?
That's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would have.
It doesn't need to be amazing.
You would hold your Pico controller like this, and then your Pro strap would go here. You see what you see what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. Get on that Pro Tube. I'll get on to them tomorrow.
I've actually spoken to I've spoken to Pro Tube because they were meant to get theirs and they didn't get it in time.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they ran out of stock. And I said to them initially, like, I'm happy to send you my like one of my Pico controllers if you want, in order to be able to get on this. Like, I'm more than happy to do that. And I even reiterated to them this week, have you received it? No, they haven't. Do you want me to send you my controller so that you can make me some goddamn mag cuffs?
Yeah, I'm really bad. Mac sent me a Pro Tube like over a year ago.
I did.
I'm bad. It's still here.
I'm a bad man.
What version is this Mac? Is it like
that's the original?
That is the original. No, that is the original mag tube. That actually was an original Pro Tube, and then I added the mag cups later on.
Oh.
So
and it's got the Mindex attachments as well that you sent. So
yeah, it has. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody
the only difference between yours and mine, Serge, when I'm using, because I don't often use my Force Tube. Because I've got the original really heavy one, and that becomes really exhausting after a while. Mm-hmm. I need to get the Scout version. But the only difference between yours and mine is that instead of a steel tube, I actually have carbon tubes, so it's a lot lighter. That's the only difference.
And I know because I was playing back in the day with Mac and Face, and they were using it, and they was like, "Wow, it makes such a big difference." I really should just set it up.
Well, I was going to say, right, if you look at Taz has actually been constructing his gun stock from toilet paper rolls.
Yeah, I heard him say that. Yeah.
And apparently he's actually he's struggling still with like mag reloads, like slow mag reloads, but otherwise he's getting a lot better accuracy. And yeah, for any of you who are really into gun games or any kind of shooting games on the Quest 2, gun stocks make a huge difference. If you're playing Contractors, if you're playing Pavlov, if you're playing Onward, any sort of games like that, the gun stocks just make such a huge difference to your gameplay.
Can you imagine
anybody that is buying a Quest Pro or is thinking about buying the Quest Pro controllers, I have this from ProTube, and that is a Quest Pro controller in a Quest 2 Pro Volver mount.
Oh, okay.
And a Quest Pro. Sorry, I have a Quest Pro controller. Ignore the dog. In a Quest 2 Mag Cup mount, so they are actually compatible.
Don't ignore the dog. His name's Igor.
Ignore the dog. His name's Igor. He's gorgeous. So if you're thinking about getting the Quest Pro, you will be able to use your ProTube attachments. If you're thinking about getting a Quest Pro controller for your Quest 2 and you have a mag tube, you won't have to change the cups.
Okay.
Exclusive.
Just wanted to say, so Classy Paddy asked me if it's heavy. For me, it's not heavy. I mean, but I think Shu was saying there's like a carbon version as well. And the other thing,
Which is pretty much their standard version now.
yeah. And then I was just thinking about Tassos going on the Dragon's Den with his toilet roll. His toilet roll.
Years and years ago, who's the kid who's just left Upload VR? Is it
Jamie.
Jamie Felton? Yeah, and he did a review. Oh, bless him, I love him. I really enjoyed his journalism. I'm really a bit pissed off actually he's left Upload VR, because I really did enjoy reading his stuff. But he's moved on to Pastures New, and he did a review of the ProTube, and he said after an hour it gets heavy. And I remember thinking, you just need to go to the gym, mate. You're a very, very slight young man, and you just need to go to the gym.
Before we continue, I want you guys to have a look on my stream quickly, because Taz has actually sent me a picture of his final, what he calls his final form, which is this. This is what he has constructed out of duct tape, toilet rolls, and a bit of string, and I don't know, something from a Hoover. Maybe?
Wait! I'm gonna put it on mine as well.
Because it genuinely looks really cool. Like that's such a cool design, man. Like you've created something from your just stuff that you had lying around, and rather than going out, we spent hundreds of pounds.
Yes.
On our mag tubes and force tubes, right? That they are not a cheap option. They are expensive, but yeah, it's really awesome to see something
crazy.
I actually, who was it I was talking to? Someone on either Mac's Discord or my Discord, to do with a really really simplistic gun stock where it's only attached to one. It's only going to attach to your right controller, and then you just lean your left one on top of it, just to give you that accuracy. I really loved that, and I looked it up on Etsy, and it's like €30. It's really cheap.
I have another gun stock manufacturer who I have a lot of contact with. It's called VRS, Virtual Rifle Systems, and they have a gun stock called the VRS Mark III, and it has a magnetic lock for your right controller, but the non-dominant hand is don't want to see that. The non-dominant hand is just basically a small bit of 3D printed plastic that you just grab hold of with your Quest or Index controller in your hand. So when you want to reload, you just let go, reload, and grab, and it works so well. It works really, really well, because there's no fanning about with magnetic cups. You just literally grab it, let go, reload, grab it. It's a very, very good system, and hopefully VRS are going to be bringing something out for the Pico, because I bought a Pico headset for Virtual Rifle Systems and sent it out to them in the United States. There you go. They're going to reimburse me, obviously. But
yeah.
Hey, Steve's World, how you doing? Hey, Clueless. But something's here.
Oh, right. What else do we have on the docket? Because I'm not going to be able to do more than about another half an hour on the podcast.
Okay,
I've got to get up I'm not going to fall asleep, but I may fall asleep at work tomorrow, and it's a very dangerous place to fall asleep.
Yes, because you can die. Can we talk about Quest Pro and specifically the Quest Pro controllers?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened is at Connect, when they released, or they sort of gave all the details of the Quest Pro, what they didn't tell you was the light blocker, i.e. the facial interface for the Quest Pro, doesn't come with the Quest Pro. It costs £50. And
yeah, which is truly insane. That it is like, if they want to charge more for it, right, go for it. Do whatever you want. That's your choice. But please don't then turn around and say you have to wait 6 weeks until we're going to release it. That's insane. Like, you're already spending $1,500 on this thing.
Yeah. And the Pico 4 Enterprise is coming in at $900 and includes the facial interface. And
includes all the other stuff as well. And it looks spangly because it's got a gold front on it.
Oh, yeah. I want one of those. Unfortunately, I had to register as a business to get one, but there you go. I
was genuinely, I had an idea, right? And if I wasn't at work today, I was going to do it. I was going to try and shit Mac up by putting a gold foil on the front of my headset and then saying, "Look, Mac, look what I got sent."
I really don't know why I like him. He's just a horrible person.
I am a terrible person.
I'm a senior citizen. I'm retired. You know, I was a soldier. I was a firefighter for 20 years. You can't treat me like this. This is just cruel. It's just cruel. That would have been funny as fuck, mate.
It would have like that's a YouTube short waiting to happen. That sort of stuff. That would have been amazing.
And my face would have been like,
"What? Why do Pico hate me?" And Max in corner crying.
Classy baddie.
Hanging on to his Pico 4 in one hand and his Neo 3 Link in the other. Why hate me?
Crying myself to sleep. Oh dear.
Yeah, Classy baddie.
Sorry, Sergi.
Oh, that's fine. Just asked me if there's prescription inserts available for the Pico Index. There definitely is for the Pico because they've approached me and you guys, and there is an Index. Just want to confirm that, yeah?
And they already exist for the Pro as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I got offered some Pro ones today.
And Mac is...
Did you say, can you send me a Quest Pro and then I'll test your lenses out?
I was just like, when I get hold of a Quest Pro, I'll be in touch. And they were like, oh yeah, just let me know as soon as you get it. And I'm like, no, I haven't ordered it.
So, right, what you needed to do, right, was you needed to spray your Pico 4 gloss black and then go, oh look, Quest have sent me a Pro, and I would have proper blown my top then, man. I'd
had to have taken off the facial interface. Yeah. I'll paint it in with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
That would have been funny as fuck. Right, so the one thing they sort of glossed over was the Quest Pro controllers. Excuse my French. So the Quest Pro controllers can be bought separately. They cost £300 in the UK. They are compatible with the Quest 2. They do, because of the cameras, they give sub-millimeter tracking, which is equivalent to the Index, which I'm quite impressed about. But they didn't talk about it at Connect. They didn't talk about the features of the Quest Pro controllers at Connect. They just glossed over it. They didn't mention the fact that it has...
They gave us fake legs instead.
They gave us fake legs. They fucking lied.
What a shit show. Yeah, sorry, go on.
It's absolutely crazy. No, yeah. It's why lie? Anyway, the Quest Pro controllers are pretty awesome. They have a little stylus thing that you can put inside on the bottom, and you can use the controller to write. They have 3 different levels of haptic feedback. They have sensors all across the front of the controller, so that you can actually pinch. So if you're looking at something, you can grip a screen and you can pinch up and down on the controller to change the size of the screen.
Oh god, that's so awesome.
They didn't talk about any. They didn't talk about any of that. They did not talk about any of that. They were like, "Here's the Quest Pro. Oh, it's really great. You know, don't talk about the resolution of the lenses. It's got eye tracking. It's got face tracking. You can do this with the legs. It's a lie." But they didn't actually talk about the engineers who made those controllers must be sitting there going, "Did you get an email from Pico?" "Yeah, I did as well. Let's fuck off."
What, with a glass of wine in the hand as well?
Classic.
Yeah, I'll be pissed. Yeah, I think I don't know what the fuck that was that they showed that day. I do not know what it was.
No.
And then everyone, I know because we spoke about it just before it happened, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, maybe they'll bring out." I remember GTA 5 and saying it won't be likely and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Chewie said it wouldn't be likely. Said there might be a chance, but they didn't even. It was nothing. It was literally nothing.
No.
So.
Not even Ghostbusters.
And
No,
it's
it
yeah.
was.
It's insane.
And it's like, oh, we don't care about Pico. They're not a competition. We won't show anyone anything. We'll keep them on their toes. I don't get it.
Yeah.
That is
and
the
then
time.
Pico,
Yeah.
I mean, like Pico sold out across Europe. I mean, the launch was nothing like the volume that the Quest 2 was. You just have to put that out there. It was nothing like the Quest 2 launch. They had millions of headsets ready to go on day one, and they fucking sold them all.
Yeah.
Pico, maybe hundreds of thousands, but the positivity around Pico is like crazy. There's like everybody who's been talking about Pico have been very, very complimentary. They all say the same things. The face interface isn't comfortable. There's some software issues, blah blah blah. But it's like almost as if people have gone, "Oh fuck! Now we don't have to put up with Meta's bullshit anymore. We can put up with Pico's bullshit instead." Fuck.
We've had confirmation, by the way, from Tazo. The shoulder piece of his gun stock is a leg piece from a heater. So he's actually cannibalizing other pieces of machinery in order to create a gun stock, which I love.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there freezing his fucking arse off, but he's like, "Yeah, I got my gun stock. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, I got my gun stock. I got 40 kills in contractors. I'm freezing cold, but I got 40 kills. Oh my god, Tazos, man, you're an absolute star. I fucking love you. I fucking love you, mate. Oh my god.
So yeah, Mac,
Jeez.
did you say you were trying to order the new controllers, not Pico, the ones today?
Yeah, I pulled the trigger today on the Pico controllers. Sorry, on the Quest Pro controllers.
Adventure.
And then my credit card got fucking declined because it's in my wife's name, and they were like, ugh. So I will be buying them. I've decided that I'm going to buy them. The reason I'm going to buy them, I am justifying this with man maths, is I can use them with my Quest 2, and we'll get sub-millimeter tracking. All of my ProTube stuff will work with it, so I don't have to worry about that. And what I'm thinking is, in April, when they have the Quest Gaming Showcase, they have to talk about Quest 3, and they have to give a release date. They have to. Otherwise, Pico are going to have a huge 12-month lead over them if they wait until Connect next year. Yeah.
I mean that's plenty of time to upgrade the software and get the store up and running, and maybe make like side quests more accessible and
pass through better. And from looking at the specs of the Quest 3, it is no better than the Pico 4. I think they've got some sort of trick LCD lenses with backlighting, which makes the LCD panels brighter, which I've heard people have complained about the brightness of the Pico 4 panels.
I saw someone complain actually about sorry mate, just on a similar kind of subject, on the colours of the Pico versus the Quest 2, like they're slightly washed out, or is that just somebody's opinion?
Just fucking bullshit. So basically what people are saying, because of the pancake lenses, the panels have to be brighter. Yeah. And they're saying that, oh, well, they're just using LCD lenses like the Quest 2, so therefore the panels are going to be dimmer because of the pancake lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that. I can't see it. So anyway, back to we're guessing the Quest, the Meta Gaming Showcase is going to be in April. 2023 like it was this year. So we are going to get announcements about games. We have to have Assassin's Creed. We have to have GTA San Andreas. We have to have Ghostbusters, or they've just lost it. They've just lost it. I think they're going to announce Quest 3 because they don't want Pico to have much more of a lead on them. And I think the Quest 3 will be also compatible with the Quest Pro controllers. Or they're going to sell... There's going to be 3 tiers because Mark Zuckerberg says the Quest 3 will cost between $300 and $500. So I think a Quest 3 headset by itself, $300, if you already own the Quest Pro controllers or you already own the Quest 2 controllers, a £500 Quest 3 with Quest 2 controllers, if you understand what I mean, and then maybe a higher tier Quest 3 with the Pro controllers included at, say, $700. That's my thinking. I've said it now, right? It is 21/17 on the 26th of October 2022, and I've made that prediction. There you go. Let's see how wrong I am.
And to be honest, April's a good 6 months away, and you don't know what Pico, who they're going to get their hooks into developer-wise, and what exclusives they might put out of the bag between now and then. I mean, maybe Meta thought with the showcase that just happened, it was too short notice to be doing this, that, and the other, or maybe that would have just stuck to the original plan. But Pico, there's a lot of games developers in Asia that are pretty damn big, and I think Pico is probably pitching to them, or if not, they've already got stuff in the works that we don't know about. So yeah.
So I'm just replying to a message.
Okay.
Chewie, have you frozen? Oh no, he's still there.
No, I am still here, mate. I am still here. I'm just reading through things. Right, so what else do we want to chat about then? What else have we got on the docket?
We haven't actually chatted about much.
No, I know. We've just been sort of riffing all the way through.
Right, so I want to do a rant, and I do apologise about this. Right, and it's one of my absolute fucking bugbears. Now I can't find the bastard video that I upload. Oh, here we go. Right, so I am not going to name and shame because I think he's a reasonable person. I think he has the reasons for doing what he does. But a fellow content creator who is, I mean, he's like miles ahead of us. He's like 700,000. Oh, sorry, he's not actually. He's like 200,000 subscribers, and he's a Oculus ambassador, and you know he is embedded in the Quest ecosystem. That's what his channel is basically. He doesn't do anything else except Quest stuff, and he released a video called Quest 2 just got 2 huge updates with a clickbait thumbnail. And I talked to you today about it, didn't I, Serge?
Yeah.
Sorry, Shuey, me and Serge were chatting for a couple of hours today. I'm sick to fucking death of these people putting out clickbait bullshit. Quest 2 just got 2 huge updates. Do you know what they were? Right? Now, me and Poweron slightly disagree about one of them, because one of them is like early access demos. So basically, you download a game, you can play it for a certain period of time, and then the game shuts down, and you decide whether you want to buy it or not.
Which I personally think is actually like I don't think it's huge. I don't think it's awesome, amazing, insane. But I think that's a huge step in the right direction.
And I do agree with you. But then I have a caveat, which is it's really easy to make a game look good for the first half hour. So that's the problem. It is important. It's not huge. The other huge, in brackets, thing this guy did with his clickbait title and his clickbait thumbnail was gift cards. Fucking gift cards.
No one, like, I get what they're doing. I get that, like, last Christmas, all of these kids got bought a Quest 2, and in February there was a whole bunch more. March, April, May. Even my friend's kid wants a Quest 2 just for one single game, and that's Gorilla Tag, right? And I understand that to an extent. And there's going to be plenty of grannies and grandmothers and grandmas and granddads that are like, what does little Timmy want for Christmas this year? And he doesn't really know. He just plays on his Quest 2. Oh, is there any way of getting him games on there? Well, you can buy him a gift card. I understand what they're doing with it, but it's not a huge update. It's not a huge feature. It's just something. It's kind of immaterial to the VR system.
You can. I mean, like Steam VR has gift cards.
Digital gift cards.
Yeah. You. I mean, if you're a friend with somebody on Steam, you can send them a gift card, or you can send them a game. Blah blah blah. If you're on the Quest ecosystem, you can send games and gift cards to your friends already. This gift card system is just purely that you can send gift cards to people who aren't particularly on your friends list. You can say, right, here's a code, this is a gift card, blah blah blah. It's not huge. We talk about this all the time on the channel. This awesome, insane, huge clickbait fucking bullshit that gets you hundreds of thousands of views when other content creators are putting huge amounts of time into making decent videos and don't get that watch time because you're just trying to be honest and you're not being clickbaity. Now, you have had a lot of... Sorry, I'm pointing at Shuey. You had a massive uptake on your channel when you did the Bone Labs video.
Yeah, so I did 3. I've done 3 Bone Lab videos. The first one was everything we know about Bone Lab in preparation for its release. So that was I decided, because I already knew that I wasn't going to review Bone Lab as a game before it even released. I knew I wasn't going to do it because I needed. There's no one wants to watch their 7th review of a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's exactly what I was going to be. I was going to be the 7th review because all of the meta ambassadors, they would have already had access to it. They're going to have release day. Reviews already ready and blah blah blah, right? So I wasn't going to bother. So I decided I was going to do a news or preparation piece for it, and that did really well. I think I did 50k or something, maybe 35, something like that. I haven't bothered looking, to be honest. And when I was playing it, I realised that one of my favourite things to do was put out information for people on stuff that they might not understand with VR. And so I put out...
But the whole thing about your channel is the news, reviews...
And how-tos.
So
yeah,
that's your mantra.
Exactly. So one of the next video I put out for Bone Lab was, by the way, did you know how slow motion works in the game? Because A, some people didn't know there is slow motion in the game because it's not explained, which is terrible. B, a lot of people were using slow motion and not understanding how it worked. And C, some people were actually getting stuck in slow motion because they didn't understand the system. And I was just like, I figured out the system because I went into it and I was like, this doesn't work the same as Boneworks did. Because I remember having to change it so that I could just tap into, you can just, there are certain controller schemes you can choose on the PC VR version where you can just tap one button and it will put you into slow-mo until you tap the button, which was really, really useful. But I wasn't having to do this on this, and I was like, well, how is this actually working? And why when I keep changing it, does it start making different sounds and slow me down more? And so I actually spent a couple of hours figuring it out. And I was like, do you know what? People, if I had to spend a couple of hours figuring it out, quite a lot of people are probably going to have the same thought.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed it completely.
Yeah, exactly, and it changes the game quite considerably. Like it makes it kind of like Matrix-esque, kind of like what was that game? Max Payne, that kind of.
Oh, Max Payne, yes, we love a bit of Max Payne.
So yeah, like that that did really well. And then, of course, I released my video this week on the gun mods, and it bombed. It bombed entirely. It just died.
Yeah.
And the annoying thing is I put 3 hours into that thumbnail. I put a lot of time into that fucking thumbnail.
It was a great thumbnail.
It was a really good thumbnail. Like, the video, take it or leave it, whatever. But the actual thumbnail was amazing. I was proud of it. I even had Gamertag reach out and was like, dude, that's an amazing thumbnail. And I was just like, oh, cheers, man. That actually makes my day, considering I've only had like 200 people watch the video.
Yeah. So I'd like to so thumbnails are very important here, and I would just like to say that, like, Surgical, your thumbnails are like consistently excellent.
Oh, cheers, man. That's appreciated. Like, some of them are, I do phone it in on occasion, but I'm getting, like, I'm at the point now where I'm seriously considering paying for Photoshop, because I actually really enjoy making the thumbnails, and GIMP has its limits.
Yeah, GIMP has its limits because it's
Right.
it doesn't give you any clues to what it's supposed to be doing.
Well, no. Here's the thing about GIMP. Everything you can do in Photoshop, you can achieve in GIMP, but things that are available in Photoshop that are literally a click might take you half an hour to achieve in GIMP. And that's where I'm losing a lot of my time, is that thumbnails are taking me hours to make rather than an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends. Like, thumbnails is a funny one because you can have an idea and then you slap that on and you go, yeah, that's cool. But then like half an hour later, you have a look at it again and then you'd be like, actually, no, this will change this. Then you've got to change that to go with that and to go with... And you do need that simplicity. Like, GIMP is really good. It's free as well. But then when you go into things like Photoshop and paid apps, you pay for the fact that it just streamlines it and cuts out a lot of the steps that other times consuming pains in the arse, to be honest. Yeah.
But then I also can't afford $25 a month on Photoshop.
Yeah, it's the same as me. It's like, so I produce all of my videos in Wondershare Filmora 11, and it's I pay for it, a yearly subscription, and I hate it. I hate Filmora 11. I think it's buggy. The customer service is rubbish. You had a massive issue with it, didn't you, Serge?
Filmora's buggy as hell. Customer service is crap. Yeah.
Every time they update it, they fucking break something. And I was like, Shuey, when you came down to visit, you introduced me to DaVinci Resolve. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. The problem is, at the time, I can edit down a video in 2 hours in Filmora because I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
I'm not used to DaVinci Resolve, and I end up going, oh my god, and I have to watch a tutorial video on how to do something where is in Wondershare Filmora. I'm so used to it, I can just go blah, 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 drag and drop. But I hate Wondershare Filmora.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I'm still learning huge amounts with DaVinci. Like, I discovered a guy accidentally on YouTube the other day that provided a load of like effects packs and things that I've been playing around with now. And I've been learning like tons in this past couple of weeks. And the problem is that I go to make a video and then I'll find something that I can't do, or I want to try out something new. And then all of a sudden I'm 10 hours later and I'm like, I've learned all this crap, but I still haven't produced the fucking video.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
I remember when my Filmora was coming up and I had so many issues. Like, they logged into my computer for like 8 hours trying to sort my issues out. And I said to Mac, I go, look, man, he mentioned that you were using DaVinci. He goes, oh, try it out. So I started using it and I was like, okay, this is cool. It's a bit, in my mind, it's like, what the hell compared to...
It's a bit like GIMP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was so weird, like doing this that way and the other way and the other way. And it got to the point where my subscription on Filmora was about to expire, and I just didn't have that time lapse where the time frame where it lapped over where I could spend the time to learn DaVinci. So I said to myself, right, I'll get Filmora. They offered me 40% off, and I fell for the muggy sales thing. And I thought, right, this time next year we're millionaires, I'll learn. I'll start learning DaVinci. But yeah,
right, Rodney.
yeah, I've got to start learning DaVinci because To be honest, it's what all the filmmakers use as well. Not all of them, but a lot of people use it. A lot of the top people that I've asked, the top YouTubers, a person DM'd and said, "What do you use?" When I first started, most of them said DaVinci. Said DaVinci, yeah. And it's free. They go, you can get this version, but with the free version, you can do a lot. You don't need to pay for it. So,
yeah. So this is what happened to me the other day, right? So there was an update for Filmora. It's like, do you want to update? Oh, yeah, well, whatever, update. It's got bug fixes and everything. And what it did was, so I've got 2 4K monitors, one here, one there. I do most of my editing on this one, and I do most of my YouTube and sort of, Google stuff on this one, because this is a better screen. So I fired up Filmora after the update, and it didn't realise I had a 4K monitor. So it basically thinks I have a 1080p monitor. So everything's tiny. And I can't read text. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I reached out to Filmora and they were like, oh yeah, what you do is you right click on the screen and then you change your display's resolution in the display box.
yeah.
So I sent them an email back. I sent them an email back, and it's like one of my classic ones. I'm not a fucking noob. I know how to change the resolution of my screen. Here is the fucking screenshot I sent you with Filmora in tiny, and then a right click of the screen where I'm actually have the resolution at 4K. I've sent you this picture, and you've just sent me this noob response because you think I'm a fucking idiot. And they were like, oh, they said, oh, can we take control of your PC? And I was like, no, you can't, because you're fucking useless, because I already know that. Right, sorry, we're ranting about Wondershare. We're not talking about VR. Let's talk about the Halloween sale.
Yeah, let's do the quick Halloween sale, and then I'm going to have to call it, lads, because
Okay, no
I am definitely going to need to go to bed. So.
Sorry, guys.
So yeah,
Halloween sale.
Halloween sale. I am a big fan of this. I like sales, and I like theme sales even better. So what do we have available? Pretty much all the classics are here, so that you would expect. So we have The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. And that includes the Aftershocks update as well. That is currently 30% off.
Yeah.
I think bringing it down to $28, possibly.
Yeah.
Or it might be $28 and then 30% off, I'm not sure. We have Myst, which is an odd one, but it is a sort of mystery game, so that's pretty cool, down 40%. We have Waltz of the Wizard, for 40% off. Unplugged, if you're into your metal guitar music, if you like your sort of Guitar Hero type games, at 40% off. Oddly, Puzzling Places is also 40% off. It's not really Halloween themed.
Not really Halloween, is it? No.
But they've got some like Gothic cathedrals and stuff in there, so I kind of get it.
Neither is Warplanes, to be honest.
Yeah, this is the thing. Warplanes, World War One fighters is 35% off. And then we get Resident Evil 4, which is 20% off. That feels like they could have done better on that.
They could have done, yeah. It's like, that's an expensive game. That's expensive.
Yeah, so it's down to $32 from $39.99, I think.
Yeah, if you look at like the reviews and the sales figures, they can get away with it.
And the other thing is I get that, but at the same time, like, there must be. I've not seen the data, but there must be a drop off at this point for purchases of Resident Evil.
Yeah. I mean, I think Resident Evil is worth. It's worth $31.99. I don't think it's worth $40, considering I played it on the N64, the GameCube, the PlayStation. All those iterations that they released it for. But Resident Evil 4 in VR is an amazing. If you haven't played it, it's an amazing experience.
Oh yeah, it's great. If you're a fan of the series anyway, then it is really nice to actually get into there.
Yeah. And
the
reload.
I don't like the reloads.
Oh, I thought the reloads worked really well in VR.
I thought they were just a bit too simplistic, and I get why they went with that, but I'm too used to like full on reloads.
Okay.
I prefer that personally. Anyway, we then have Zenith: The Last City for 30% off. Yep, great game. I think I've gone through a couple of different thought processes with Zenith, because obviously when it released, I was super hyped, and then we played it, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And we played it loads, and we streamed it a load as well. And that was really fun. And then I was like, oh, there's just not enough here. Like, there's not enough end-game content, there's not enough going on. And then I sort of looked back, and I'm like, right, so let's face it, this was $29.99.
Yeah.
Did I get $30 worth of play out of it, the amount I played it? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And I think most people will. So I think, on the whole, that's actually a good price, and I think Zenith is still worth it for most people that are into that sort of fantasy sci-fi thing. I
haven't played it since the launch, so I think it might be worth jumping back in because they'll obviously updated loads, and I think it's going to be quite good. Do you ever get that Cyber Ninja guy?
I don't know. I don't know if that was released in a patch or not. I'll have to look into that.
We
then have After the Fall.
50
essential.
That is an essential purchase, in my opinion, for everybody that likes shooting games, anybody that likes zombie games, anybody that likes anything that's like Left 4 Dead. And that is currently 30% off at $28. I think that is a steal. Well worth it, in my opinion. And lastly, and I think this one definitely fits the theme, is Demio or Demio. I'd say Demio. Yeah, I think Demio is probably correct, and that is 30% off at $21.
Great game.
Once again, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, or you like puzzle games, or you just want to try something completely different in VR that you just don't do on a regular basis, and especially if you've got people to play with as well, because this game is amazing when you're playing with friends. It's just such a good game. And there's a big update.
Yeah, in November. We live streamed it. Me, you, Clicks, Fusilio, I do believe.
And Triple, I think.
Yeah, and we had an absolute blast. As per usual, Fusilio was an absolute fucking monster. But there you go. Right, so in my chat, Warmac has said, to commemorate the launch of Pico 4 in Malaysia, Pico will be offering users who make their purchase between now and January 4 free games to begin their VR journey. This might just purely be a Malaysian thing then, because
maybe. But I think that's a really good idea. Actually, so I've been thinking about how Pico can actually combat the Quest ecosystem, and I think what they should do is consider doing it like the way that the Epic Game Store tried to combat Steam. I don't know if you know about the Epic Game Store versus Steam war.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Sorry, I've just need to intercede here. Clueless Dad has just said that Star Wars Squadrons is $6.99.
Wow,
that is a steal.
That's an amazing steal. I don't have that game. I need to purchase that.
Go and buy it now.
If you've got a PC.
If you have a PC and you have a Quest 2 or a Pico 4, go and buy that now because it's amazing. You will get £6.99 just by playing the single player game.
Yeah, I love that.
£6.99 worth of value.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The campaign is... I think in one of my videos, I actually sat in a TIE fighter and had like a little freak out because it was basically 12-year-old Mac was sat in a TIE fighter. So yeah, go and buy that game. Sorry, should we?
No. So yeah, I think what Pico should be doing is offering an incentive to join their ecosystem, and maybe a free game here and there is going to be the way forward for them, because you start developing like a reason to actually attach on to that ecosystem, don't you? In a similar way that like people aren't going to move from Quest onto Pico because they've already built up their Quest library.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the way forward.
Okay, here's an idea. And if you're watching Pico, Pico Live, Pico Gold, Pico Games with Gold. So you subscribe for $19.99 a month, and you get access to
their entire library.
Their entire library. I would never go back to Quest if that happened, because there are so many good games on the people have like, one of the criticisms, again going back to the fanboys, is like Pico has no games. Pico have got nearly as many games on their store as the Quest does. The only thing they lack is the exclusives. They don't have the Resident Evils. They don't have the Beat Sabers. If you did a subscription service to Pico, I would buy that straight away, because I would have access to a lot of games that I would like to play, but I've never had the opportunity to because I don't have enough money. Like, for example,
I
games
may
like...
just found something.
Are you back on Pornhub again?
I think he is, by the look of his face.
I think I may have just realised something. So, as part of me receiving a Pico early, I also got access to their entire store for a very limited time.
Okay.
Where I could play and download anything I wanted, which was fun and awesome, and I really enjoyed myself.
That doesn't make me feel even worse. But
there was a game on there that I don't think is available on Quest.
Okay.
But is a Steam VR game.
Okay. And
so
it is?
It's. Do you remember a game called Against?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got it on Steam.
I played that on Pico because I saw it available and I was like, I didn't realise this had been ported over to standalone.
Wow. Yeah. No. Do you know what? The weird thing is, I saw Against and I was like, I don't remember that being a Quest game.
Exactly.
Wow.
And do you know what's even weirder is that I gifted Mac and VR Against, I think, on his birthday on Christmas like a year ago.
You did.
And he still hasn't
yes,
played it.
You did.
Just like I didn't use his gun stock.
Well, you start using the gun stock and I'll go and play Against.
I know why I can stick that gun stock. Guys, so I've got an issue with my headset. It's not charging and it's beeped about 3 times, so it could die any second.
You're about to die.
Yeah.
That's fine, because I think we're going to call it now anyway, mate, because that is about right.
2.25 hours, yeah. It's been cool.
Guys, it's been great.
I've had a good stream, guys. I am desperate to go to sleep so that I don't die in the morning, because at this point I'm going to get a maximum of 7 hours sleep. Okay. And that's if I hit the hay right now. So, with that in mind,
we are going to call it.
Yes, we are. Thank you for joining us, everyone. It has been a great evening. We've talked about some VR. We've talked about some bugbears. We've talked about some Pico, Pornhub. We have talked about basically the entire gamut of the PC VR and standalone gaming experience. So, I have been Power on VR. If you'd like to find me, hold your horses, Mac. If you'd like to find me, I am available on YouTube. If you'd like a bit more Power on VR in your life, then by all means subscribe to the channel and maybe even join the membership program. If not, then find me on Twitter or join the Discord. This guy next to me has been...
Surgical.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, on my stream it's you, but sure.
No, I'm looking at my stream thinking, who the hell was he talking about? Okay, I'll go. Yes,
we practice this.
Yeah. I'm IndieVR. You can catch me on YouTube, IndieVR, and on my Discord, Twitter, Indie__VR. I just want to say to everyone, it's my first stream on my channel, and it's been great. Loads of people have jumped in. Thank you to everybody.
Loads of chat.
I can't name everybody, but thanks everyone for jumping in. I really appreciate the support. And if you guys don't know who Mac and Chewy are, subscribe to their channels, and they have really great content. So, thanks, guys.
Okay, I am Mac in VR, and you can find me on Discord, as you can see on my stream. Mac in VR, hashtag 0729. You can find me on Twitter, at Mac in VR. You can find me on YouTube, Mac in VR, and you can also join my channel if you want exclusive giveaways, channel perks, and badges and all sorts of lovely stuff that I've made for you. So it is 21:46, and Power-On needs to go to bed. So let's.
Need that beauty sleep.
He needs that. He definitely needs to beauty sleep. Sorry. Yes, go and get your beauty sleep. Thanks for watching, people, and I'll see you on the other side.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks very much, man. It's been great.